During these last few months, we've gotten to take a look at all kinds of aspects of our 19th century history. Whether it was the critically acclaimed box office hit Lincoln, which details the passing of the 13th Amendment, or Quentin Tarantino's pre-Civil War love letter to spaghetti westerns and southern blaxploitation action with Django Unchained. Hell, BET has even been running a Roots marathon for the entirety of Christmas week. 24 hours of a Christmas story? Fuck that, I'm watching Roots! So let's ruin all of that by getting the 1990s involved. More specifically, the short-lived TV flop, The Secret Diary of Desmond Pfeiffer.
President Lincoln, someone is trying to open a new Whiter House of the future right across the street and drive us out of business.
Oh right, you probably mostly remember this show from the also short-lived, but unlike Desmond Pfeiffer, extremely funny, Clerks the Animated Series. Where not only was the show Desmond Pfeiffer a favorite of lead characters Dante and Randall, but it was so successful that it even spawned its own fast food chain, Desmond Pfeiffer's Civil War Burgers. I don't know what a Civil War burger is, but I really want to try one. The Clerks reference even prompted people to go to the IMDb message boards for Desmond Pfeiffer, asking, wait, this is real? Yes, it is real, and we let it go to air. But growing up in Springfield, Illinois, a town that worships Lincoln like fictional Springfield worships Jebediah Springfield, I definitely knew of this show's existence because in its brief run, nearly every critic in Springfield was crying foul about it. Hell, the tagline for the show was even, "Critics hate it!" The series took place in the Lincoln White House during the Civil War and revolved around Lincoln's British black butler named Desmond, played by Chi McBride, who was run out of England after a series of gambling debts. Wackiness ensues. But you don't need me to tell you this, that's what the prologue's for.
The Civil War defined America, both the good and the bad.
And we're just gonna put this in the bad category.
It was the crossroads of our being. And it was a hell of a crossroads. Who would have thought there was a comedy in all that?
I don't know. Curse of the Cannibal Confederates had some laughs. More laughs than this. Hell, Glory had more laughs than this.
We were fortunate to acquire an extraordinary historical document. The Secret Diary of Desmond Pfeiffer. The P isn't silent.
Wait, Pfeiffer? It's pronounced Pfeiffer? You know what? No. No. I'm not pronouncing it like that.
The rest, as they say, is history.
Yeah, it's history, alright. 4 episodes before ultimate cancellation history.
Everything that follows actually happened. You can't prove that it didn't.
Hoo, they really got us with that one. Sort of like how the creators eat kittens and then feed their flea-infested feces to orphans. What? Prove to me that they don't. I shouldn't be joking, though. After all, this was aired during UPN Prime, which I imagine is like having VIP tickets to a donkey show. The first aired episode of the series was titled AOL, Abe Online. That makes sense. I think my old copy of AOL 2.8 originated from the Civil War era. And here's what it looks like when a good actor patiently awaits being cast in a much better show. We then meet Desmond and his assistant, Niblet, who are looking for Jefferson's buried treasure in the White House.
Totally classic Pfeiffer.
Sort of like when The Simpsons had Homer running around the White House also looking for buried treasure. And not even The Simpsons did that plotline very well. Though I don't remember this happening.
1, 2... What comes? 3, 4, 5! So it should be right here.
What did you learn? Not a very funny joke, is it?
Perhaps if we start at the beginning.
Yes. Well, my first recollection is me mum tossing me off a bridge in a sack full of puppies.
I think that's what they wanted to do with the original tapes of this show. But unfortunately, there's a thing called YouTube now, so everyone can see Desmond Pfeiffer episodes. Oh, and hey, remember that previous gag when Niblet burned his hand on the stove? You know, maybe I was wrong. Maybe that was kind of funny. They should probably do that again.
I meant retrace our steps from the beginning.
I can do so, yes.
Nope. Original assumption was right. Not funny. I guess this is going to be the whole episode, looking for treasure.
Niblet! Niblet, what are you doing?
I'm putting it back where I found it. Yeah, right next to that fancy box.
That's it! You found the treasure!
Oh, never mind. Well, that was quick. This show may suck, but at least it's short. Just kidding. There's plenty more classic Pfeiffer coming up. And I do mean classic. This show was created by the minds of Barry Finaro and Mort Nathan, who, between the two of them, gave us such gems as Boat Trip, Men in Black 2, The Crew, I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry. That's right. After Desmond Pfeiffer, they still managed to find work. So there's hope for all of us. Just like the hope that TV Lincoln will be as engrossing as Daniel Day-Lewis Lincoln.
Last night I left my love flame burning and you didn't come to blow it out. What's your lame excuse this time?
The Civil War, Mary?
Well, now I know what it would have looked like if Chuck Lorre ghost wrote for Alex Haley. And yes, that's Captain Krager from Law & Order as President Lincoln. Ever think you'd catch him spewing out sitcom gold like this?
Shove it up your stovepipe, Abe!
I can't believe the war is the easy part of my day.
Well, he has done some sitcom work in the past, such as an appearance on Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Somehow I think that this is still more embarrassing. Although it does have enough class to tackle Mary Todd's eating disorder.
My blood sugar's dipping. I just need a little finger food. Oh, look. Pancakes.
Should I pour some syrup in your other hand?
See, now what she needs is Bugs Bunny's Thanksgiving diet. But don't start hitting on Bugs or he'll just stuff you with more fat. Desmond and Niblet find a ring in Jefferson's box, which is quickly snatched up by the First Lady.
It won't go on. I must be retaining water.
Because she's fat. Although, not really. But the audience seems to like it. There are others in the supporting cast too, such as this dumb blonde.
Where were you last employed?
I was a round card girl at a bare knuckles fight.
And Ulysses S. Grant, who, let me guess, is a pervert?
Have you met the president's new secretary?
That is incredibly offensive. Surely they would not put up with this in the real Lincoln White House. Or naughty telegrams either.
My loins ache with desire for you.
Well, I'm flattered, my lord.
Naughty telegrams were the go-to gags for fantastic sitcom humor in the 90s. What? Prove they weren't. Oh wait, it was Lincoln who was sending those naughty telegrams? Because clearly they're going with the closeted bisexual horn dog angle with Lincoln. Why wouldn't they?
Mr. President? I wasn't doing anything.
Hopefully he didn't sketch a picture of his dick to send to some lover.
Enjoy. What do you mean by that? Your sausage. What do you mean by that?
Oh my god. If there was anything that actually makes Will and Grace look dignified... No, this still isn't it. I mean, this may be terrible, but it doesn't save that show. Lincoln is trying to find extramarital affairs via telegram because he's become bored with Mary Todd.
What the president wants is some strange.
Hey, I've already had strange. What I'm looking for is better.
As in, a better show? Well, don't worry, you and Chai will both find homes in better series before too long. Just give it a few weeks. I can't imagine why people in Springfield or anywhere else would find this show slightly tasteless. Hey, Confederate headquarters, a haven for old school comedy. Is that Stonewall Jackson? Please tell me there's a dick joke.
My, isn't Mrs. Stonewall the lucky one?
When a dick joke falls flat, it shouldn't even be called a dick joke. It should just be called a Lorre. Sorry to keep bringing up Chuck Lorre in a show that doesn't even involve him, but when I think about bad sitcoms, I kinda automatically think of him. Though tell that to this audience who seem to want to laugh at anything.
Another attack may be underway.
okay, I don't even know what they're laughing at. And it isn't because I just simply don't think the joke was funny, it's that I didn't even spot a joke in there. Seriously, what are they laughing at? Oh, and if you're watching this on YouTube, apparently if you love this show, you'll also love the N-word, which I hope stands for Niblet, who, as you can see, is going through great lengths to try to get the ring back from Mary Todd. Wouldn't it have been easier to just sneak through the door? Seems as if she'd be less likely to notice you that way, but whatever makes room for a hairy armpit joke. I agree with this philosophy. When in doubt, just put in a sound effect of a horse. But in the other plot, I don't know if it's plot A or plot B, because to me, they're both an F. Lincoln is running into some problems with his bad telegraph habits.
Sir, what happened to your hands?
Things got a little hot and heavy on the telegraph. I knocked over a kerosene lamp and burned my hands.
You can't fool me. You tried the Alabama Hot Pocket and it went horribly wrong. Just like your jokes.
We need a plan.
Yeah, well, that shouldn't be too difficult if we put our heads together.
And we'd look like your father.
So his father is mixed then? Or he's the basis for that movie, The Thing with Two Heads? I really don't get these punchlines.
I'm sorry to put you in the middle of this, Desmond, but I need you to tap for me.
Sure, make the black guy tap.
Okay, that one I get. Not really funny, but I get it. Just like I get how Grant is supposed to be a pervert, even though they keep pounding it into my head as if I'm not realizing it.
Tell him to be careful. You never know who you're talking to on those things. You think it's a hot babe, then you travel cross country to Ohio to meet her in some train station hotel. Turns out to be some fat, sweaty kook named Hiram. So I've heard.
If you find it embarrassing, then why did you tell that story? By the way, Uncle Leo, Jerry is never gonna forgive you for this. I shouldn't say too much here, because this scene provides the show with one of only two marginal laughs in the entire thing. It's when Lincoln accidentally sends a dirty telegram to Jackson.
That's good, son. What does it say?
It says, you're gonna get the licking of your life.
Licking? How dare they?
I said marginal laugh. At this point, I'm just desperate to laugh at anything. And they must have known someone would smile at it because they don't let it die.
We'll see who licks who. Well, we'll lick them from top to bottom. Dispatch the following message back. Be prepared to be brought to your knees.
And now I'm sad again. Almost as sad as these tired, ugly woman jokes for a woman who, again, isn't that ugly.
There's a good girl. Other paw.
I have been told that my feet are my best feature.
Oh, they are. Actually, it's a shame you can't walk around on your hands.
So this must have been the inspiration to turn Meg into nothing but a punching bag on Family Guy. And guess what? It sucks on that show, too. Oh, I'm getting word that Jackson isn't done with his shtick yet.
The last communications we intercepted from Lincoln said he was going to take me from the rear.
Lincoln agrees to meet his mystery woman at a whorehouse where no one seems to recognize him. I guess that's convenient.
What's a nice girl like you doing in a place like this?
I'm a whore.
And there's the second laugh. Like I said, I'm really desperate. Turns out that the woman Lincoln was flirting with via telegraph was Mary Todd herself, and all that naughty talk looks to have rekindled a little romance in their lives.
That was you? With that sultry, seductive, naughty.
What about you with that steamy?
You were both willing to cheat on each other. You still have a crappy marriage. And it appears as if this story was interesting enough for Desmond to write in his diary.
And so it was. President and Mrs. Lincoln rediscovered the spark that initially ignited their passion.
Stop. You're not Doogie Howser. Just stop. Oh right, I almost forgot about the ring. It's found when Lincoln is sucking on Mary Todd's toes. and is used again later during a flash forward to the Clinton administration.
I just found a way to help pay for your legal defense fund.
Please, don't come in right now, sweetheart.
How 90s and topical and sucky. Actually, this whole show was designed to be a spoof of the Clinton administration. Don't know how that works out. Let's spoof Clinton! Fuck you, Lincoln! What, can't you tell with oh-so-subtle lines like this?
Do you know what would happen if the president were caught in a compromising situation? What would I do? Apologize to the entire nation? I'd look like a complete ass!
Sort of a much lesser version of Comedy Central's That's My Bush, which was a satire of the W years. Excuse me, sir. I knew That's My Bush. That's My Bush was a friend of mine. You, sir, Desmond Pfeiffer, are no That's My Bush. After the first episode aired, 3 more would continue to air before the show's cancellation, leaving 5 unaired episodes to rot in the dust. In fact, the show's real pilot was pulled due to controversy from the NAACP and replaced with the episode you just saw. Ironically, giving it something else in common with the Clerks animated series, both have pilots that never aired in their first run. The controversy is part of what led to the show being cancelled, although some of it wasn't even true. A rumor had circulated at the time that there was a scene that showed several hooded black men being hung. Yeah, that was never anywhere in the show. But seriously, you don't have to make shit up to get this show off the air. All you have to do is watch it. There's plenty of material here to declare this show as a loser. Though I'm sure Spike Lee still deemed it as disrespectful, even though he probably never saw it. Perfect. All from the guy whose bright idea of lesbianism was She Hate Me. But then again, given how our society has made hits out of reality television, 2.5 Men, reality television, Jay Leno, whatever this is, Larry the Cable Guy, reality television, Tyler Perry, Fox News, and that, I'm kinda surprised this wasn't a hit. Well, I hope this holds you over for a little while, because with MagFest coming up and with my move to a bigger place next month, I'm going to be a little bit slower at getting scripted material posted, but I'll still have plenty of vlogs and stuff like that to post up in the meantime, and I promise that once I get settled in, I'll make it up to you. But until then, I gotta try desperately hard to figure out a way to recreate a Desmond Pfeiffer Civil War burger.